Ever felt like you're on the edge of your seat, heart pounding, as you witness a real-life thriller unfold? Tonight, on Luxuria Lounge, we're diving into a story that's more gripping than any Hollywood blockbuster. Operation Thunderbolt. This isn't just a tale of military might. It's a human drama of courage, desperation, and the unbreakable will to survive. Get ready to be transported back to 1976, to a world on the brink, where the fate of over 100 lives hung in the balance.
Our story unfolds on June 27, 1976. Air France Flight 139, a McDonnell Douglas DC-8, was preparing for its routine journey from Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion Airport to Paris, with a stopover in Athens. Imagine the scene: families saying goodbye, business travelers preparing for meetings, and tourists anticipating the sights of Paris. Little did they know their ordinary flight was about to be violently hijacked, turning their hopes and dreams into a terrifying ordeal.
Shortly after takeoff from Athens, the tranquility of the flight was shattered. 4 hijackers, 2 belonging to the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, PFLP, and 2 members of the German Revolutionary Cells, stormed the cockpit. These individuals, driven by radical ideologies, were prepared to use violence to achieve their goals. They weren't just criminals, they were ideologues convinced of their cause's righteousness, adding complexity to the situation.
Brandishing pistols and hand grenades, they seized control of the aircraft. The passengers, caught completely off guard, were thrust into a nightmare scenario. Fear and panic spread through the cabin as the hijackers asserted their dominance. The plane, symbolizing freedom and travel, was now a prison in the sky.
The hijackers' objective was clear: the release of Palestinian prisoners held in Israeli jails. They demanded that the plane be diverted to Entebbe Airport in Uganda, a strategic choice with far-reaching consequences. Uganda, under the brutal dictatorship of Idi Amin, was a pariah state known for its human rights abuses and erratic leadership.
Idi Amin, a man of immense cruelty and unpredictable behavior, saw this hijacking as an opportunity. He welcomed the hijackers with open arms, seeing them as pawns in his own game of international politics. Amin's support was critical to the hijackers' plan. It provided them with a safe haven, a base of operations, and a sense of impunity.
Upon landing at Entebbe, the nightmare intensified. The hijackers, with the assistance of Ugandan soldiers, separated the Israeli passengers from the rest. This act of segregation, reminiscent of the darkest chapters of history, amplified the fear and vulnerability of the Israeli hostages. They were singled out, not for anything they had done, but simply for who they were.
News of the hijacking reached Israel, triggering a national crisis. Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin and Defense Minister Shimon Peres faced an agonizing decision: negotiate with terrorists, potentially setting a dangerous precedent, or risk a military operation, a high-stakes gamble with the lives of their citizens. The pressure was immense. The clock was ticking.
A daring plan began to take shape: Operation Thunderbolt. It was a long shot, a mission that bordered on the impossible. Entebbe was thousands of miles away, deep within hostile territory. Under Amin's control, the Ugandan military vastly outnumbered any potential rescue force. The risks were astronomical. But for the Israeli government, abandoning their citizens was unthinkable.
The responsibility for executing this audacious plan fell to the elite Sayeret Matkal unit, a group of highly trained commandos, the best of the best, led by Lieutenant Colonel Yoni Netanyahu. These soldiers were not just warriors but strategists, experts in covert operations, and fiercely dedicated to their mission. They began intensive training, meticulously rehearsing every detail of the operation.
They studied maps, built scale models of the Entebbe terminal, and simulated the rescue operation countless times. They knew that success depended on meticulous planning, flawless execution, and a healthy dose of courage. They were preparing to enter a lion's den, and their lives, along with the lives of the hostages, depended on their every move.
On the night of July 3rd, 1976, 4 C-130 Hercules transport planes, carrying the commandos and their equipment, took off from Israel under the cloak of darkness. They flew low, hugging the terrain to avoid radar detection, navigating over vast stretches of hostile territory. The journey was grueling, the tension palpable. Every minute ticked by brought them closer to Entebbe, closer to the moment of truth.
The planes refueled in Kenya, a crucial logistical step that underscored the complexity of the operation. Kenya's cooperation was essential, providing a vital staging ground for the rescue mission. This act of collaboration, however, would later have serious repercussions.
As the planes approached Entebbe under the cover of darkness, the commandos knew that time was running out. The hijackers' deadline was fast approaching, and the threat to the hostages' lives was growing more acute. The commandos prepared for action, their hearts pounding, their minds focused on the mission ahead.
The planes landed silently on the Entebbe runway, disguised as a cargo plane to avoid suspicion. The first wave of commandos, dressed in Ugandan military uniforms, disembarked and moved swiftly towards the terminal building. They were like ghosts in the night, moving with precision and purpose.
The assault began with lightning speed. The commandos stormed the terminal, catching the hijackers entirely off guard. A fierce battle erupted, gunfire and explosions echoing through the night. The Israelis, though outnumbered, were highly trained, highly motivated, and determined to succeed.
They fought their way through the terminal, room by room, freeing the hostages from their captors. The hostages, many of them terrified and disoriented, were ushered towards the waiting planes. The commandos were not just fighting terrorists, but racing against time, knowing that every second counted.
The operation was a success, but the cost was high. Yoni Netanyahu, the brave leader of the mission, was killed in action. His death was a devastating blow to his comrades in the nation of Israel. He had led from the front, a true hero who sacrificed his life for his people.
Netanyahu's sacrifice became a symbol of national pride, a testament to the courage and selflessness of the Israeli soldier. His legacy continues to inspire, a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, one person can make a difference.
The rescued hostages, battered but alive, were flown back to Israel, where they were greeted as heroes. They had endured a terrifying ordeal, but they had survived, thanks to the courage and skill of the Israeli commandos.
Operation Thunderbolt was a resounding victory against terrorism, a demonstration of Israel's unwavering commitment to protecting its citizens. It was a complex and daring operation, a high-stakes gamble that paid off. But it was also a human story of fear, hope, loss, and triumph.
The raid on Entebbe was not without its controversies. Some questioned the operation's legality, while others criticized the use of force. But for the Israeli people, it was a moment of national unity, a symbol of their resilience and their determination to fight against terrorism.
The operation also had broader geopolitical implications. It exposed the instability of Idi Amin's regime and highlighted the challenges of combating international terrorism. It also demonstrated the importance of international cooperation, as Kenya's support played a crucial role in the mission's success.
Operation Thunderbolt, a name that echoes through history, a testament to the human spirit's capacity for extraordinary acts of bravery. It's a story that reminds us that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, courage, determination, and meticulous planning can prevail. It's a story that reminds us of the cost of freedom, the sacrifices made to protect the innocent, and the unwavering commitment of a nation to its people.
But it's also a story that raises complex questions. Questions about the use of force, the ethics of intervention, and the delicate balance between security and human rights. These are questions that continue to be debated and discussed even today, reminding us that history is never simple, and that even the most celebrated victories can leave behind a trail of unanswered questions.
Tonight, on Luxuria Lounge, we've journeyed back in time to witness triumph and tragedy, a moment that shaped a nation and a moment that continues to inspire and challenge us. Thank you for joining us on this extraordinary journey.
What are your thoughts on Operation Thunderbolt? Share your comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Luxuria Lounge for more captivating stories from around the world. Until next time, keep exploring the extraordinary.